Yung title ng message ko this afternoon ay The Faith of Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Yan. Mahaba-habang basahan ito. Sa buong chapter ng Daniel. Beginning in verse 1, Daniel chapter 3, basahin muna natin. Mabilis lang tayo, may silang naman ito. Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image of gold. Tingnan nyo it's an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits and its width 6 cubits. Yung 60 cubits, tinignan ko sa modern computation, that's about 90 feet high. Gold. Noong araw, gold talaga yan, buhos. Hindi ito, ano tawag dito? Oh, hindi ito plated. This is the image or the statue of Nebuchadnezzar. 90 cubits or 90 feet. Kung hindi nyo ma-imagine yung 90 feet, yan yung pag sumakay kayo ng elevator mula baba, tapos hanggang dito, 8 floors, tapos meron pang isang floor. Yan. 9 floors. See, usually ang standard floor, mga 10 feet high. 10 feet is about the size ng basketball ring sa basketball. Yan. Inaabot ko dati yan. Hindi ko maabot, pero inaabot ko. Whose height was 60 cubits high and its width 6 cubits. Yung 6 cubits is about 9 feet. O, madalawang ako. Pag pinagpatong mo. He set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Na-download mo ba yung picture? Hindi. O, tingnan natin yung picture. Para ma-imagine niyo kung gaano. Approximation lang ito, pinadrawing ko lang kay Gemini. Yung, tawag dito, kung anong itsura. Yan, ganyan siya. 9 floors yung building, approximation lang yan. Yung image na yan, pinakopya ko yung image yung dream ni Nebuchadnezzar. Kaya lang dyan, ulo lang yung gold. But you have to imagine, this is an image of gold na 9 floors high, tapos 9 feet wide. Yan, grabe, no? Dapat pala ginamit ko yung mukha ko. Okay. Pwede yun eh. Anyway, balik tayo doon sa binabasa natin. And King Nebuchadnezzar sent word to gather together the satraps, mga ano yan, governors din yan, mga public officials or appointed officials ni King Nebuchadnezzar. The administrators, the governors, the councilors, the treasurers, the judges, the magistrates, and all the officials of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Grabe, the king. Pinatawag niya lahat ng government officials niya. Punta kayo dito, dedication ng image, statue. So, verse 3. Verse 3. So, the satraps, the administrators, the governors, the councilors, the treasurers, the judges, the magistrates, and all the officials of the provinces gathered together for the dedication of the image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Kung gathering ito lahat ng mga officers ni King Nebuchadnezzar. Nandun sila sa province ng Dura. Verse 4. Then a herald cried aloud. Ayan. Yung, ang tawag dito, maliban sa king, meron talaga silang tagabasa ng command. To you, it is commanded, O peoples, nations, and languages, that at the time you hear the sound of the horn, flute, harp, lyre, and psaltery. You can imagine at that time, meron talaga silang mga musical instruments. At least during the Babylonian kingdom, meron na silang mga musical instruments. Horn, flute, harp, lyre, and psaltery. In symphony, with all kinds of music, you shall fall down and worship the gold image that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up. Ito na yung kwento niyan. This is one of the most beautiful, ang tawag dito, story about faith na mababasa natin in Scripture. And whoever does not fall down and worship shall be cast immediately into the midst of a burning, fiery furnace. Oh, this is interesting. Kasi, nagpa-set up siya ng statue at nagpa-set up din siya ng kung saan susunugin yung hindi sasamba. talagang magkasama yan. Hindi lang siya nagpatayo ng statue. Nagpalagay din siya doon ng sunugan sa gilid. At may plano talaga siya na ipa-worship yung statue. At may plano siya na yung hindi sasamba doon sa statue, cremated. Parang cremation yan eh. There is an intent from the beginning. An intent to burn. Kasi kung minsan pag binabasa natin yung kwento, we do not think about those things. But when you actually look at it, at i-highlight ko siya konti, you can just imagine, may statue dito at may sunugan dito. Instant yan, instant death. Whoever does not fall down and worship shall be cast immediately into the midst of a burning, fiery furnace. So yung hawak niyang scroll, nakasulat yan doon. Paggawa ka ng statue, paggawa tayo ng sunugan, ito ang instruction. And the Babylonian king, Nebuchadnezzar, is going to watch. Tingnan natin. Verse 7. So at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the horn, flute, harp, and lyre in symphony with all kinds of music, all the people, nations, and languages fell down. Siyempre, nandiyan yung sunugan eh. Katabi mo na eh. Ay nandiyan yung king nakatingin. Fell down and worshipped the gold image which King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. You can just imagine yung mga officials ni King Nebuchadnezzar. The moment marinig nila yung mga tumunog, bawa agad yan. Verse 8. Therefore, at that time, certain Chaldeans came forward. Chaldeans are citizens of Babylon. And accused the Jews. They spoke and said to King Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. It's a common greeting even as far back. Di ba tayo, meron din tayong ganyan, mabuhay. Mabuhay ka kapag binabati mo or yan. Sila din, even as far back, it's common greeting. O king, live forever. You, O king, have made a decree that everyone who hears the sound of the horn, flute, harp, lyre, and psaltery in symphony with all kinds of music. Actually, find it amusing na pinuot talaga nila ng buo yung instruction. Shall fall down and worship the gold image. And whoever does not fall down and worship shall be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews, ito na yan, whom you have set up over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Mga ano nila yan? Mga Babylonian names. Kasi si Hananiah, si Mishael, at saka si Azariah. Nung nagtrabaho sila as officers in the kingdom, binigyan sila ng Babylonian names. These are also names of gods of Babylon. Tingnan nyo na lang yan later. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Ang naalala ko lang dyan is yung Abednego, fire god yan. These men, O king, have not paid due regard to you. Nag-report na sila. Kasi nakabow lahat, pero merong tatlo na hindi. And apparently dito, si Daniel is not included. Parang wala siya dyan. These men, O king, have not paid due regard to you. They do not serve your gods or worship the gold image which you have set up. Ayan. Merong tatlo. Sabi, pag tunog ng mga musical instruments, supposed to be magbabow down. Pero meron kayong tatlong official doon sa province ng Babylon. Hindi sila nagbow. Hindi din sila naglilingkod sa mga Diyos ninyo. Sabi nila. Then, Nebuchadnezzar, in rage and fury, dalawa talaga no? Rage and fury. O ano ang tawag dito? Yung description ng galit niya talagang dinescribe ng dalawang beses. Galit na galit. Yung tawag dito? O, nanginginig sa galit kasi rage and fury. Gave the command to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Sabi ni Nebuchadnezzar, dalhin dito tatlo. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So they brought these men before the king. Yan na. Kayo na lang ang mag-imagine yan. Total, mahilig naman kayo sa mga drama-drama ng mga goryo-goryo na yan. At saka yung mga, ano yan. Joseon. O, Joseon. Yung mga Korean drama. Yan. Mga pinagpupuyatan natin sa gabi. Okay. Kakapindot natin ang next episode. Nagulat ka na lang, umaga na. Anyway, ganyan yung setting. And verse 14, Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying to them, totoo ba, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods, or worship the gold image which I have set up? Verse 15, now, if you are ready, ulit, dito sa harap ko mismo, tingnan natin. So, from doon sa field, nandun na sila ngayon nakatayo doon sa harap, katabi ng king, and sabi niya, ulit! Binigyan sila ng chance. Hindi rin naman talagang pinatapon agad ng king. Okay, one more, ulit! Take two! Yan na. If you are ready, handa na kayo. Para bang tinanong ka talaga eh. Handa na kayo. At the time you hear the sound of the horn, flute, harp, lyre, and psaltery, in symphony, with all kinds of music, and you fall down and worship the image which I have made, good. Handa na kayo? Pag narinig yung music, you fall down, good. Sabi ng king, ayaw naman talaga silang patayin ng king. Ayaw din sila patayin ng king. Binigyan sila ng chance. Good. But if you do not worship, ano yan? Kapag kayo hindi sumamba, and yung worship nila nung araw, hindi yan yung magbabaw ka lang. Yan yung ano mo, koto, sabi sa Chinese. Yung iyong noo talagang nakadikit sa lupa. Yan. Yung baw na yun. But if you do not worship, you shall be cast immediately into the midst of a burning, fiery furnace. Itatapon kayo kaagad doon. And sinong Diyos sa palagay nyo? Here is the challenge. Who is the God who will deliver you from my hands? Kahit sino pa ang Diyos nyo dyan, who do you think can deliver you from my hands? Shadrach, verse 16, Meshach and Abednego answered and said to the king. Wala pa yung wala pa yung music. Sumagot na sila. O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. If that is the case, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning, fiery furnace. They believe. But if not, okay, ito yung sinasabi ko palagi na balanced na perspective ng faith. We have an expectation of what God is able to do. We know that there is nothing impossible. Pero, in their perspective, even if God does not do anything, but if not, let it be known to you, O King, that we do not serve your gods. Ang tapang. Ang tapang ng tatlo. We do not serve your gods. Nor will we worship the gold image which you have set up. Sa ibang translation, I think, ang nakalagay, we are not careful to answer you in this matter. Yung bang ang sinasabi nila, eh, hindi po kami magiging maingat sa pagsagot sa inyo. Pero, ang Diyos namin can save us. But even if He does not, we are not going to bow down before the idol or the golden image. Yan ang sabi. Then, verse 19, Nebuchadnezzar was full of fury. Talagang nagalit na siya. Remember, he is a king. And he is asking these three, binibigyan niya ng chance to bow down. At ang sabi nila, we will not. Yung reputation niya as king is that merong tatlo na ayaw sumunod. And nandyan lahat ng mga public officials niya. He will not have it. The expression on his face changed. Nung sinasabihan niya, binibigyan niya ng chance yung tatlo, eh maganda pa ang mukha niya eh. Pero the moment na nagsabi yung tatlo na we are not, yung expression ay bago. Yan. Galit. His face changed towards Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He spoke and commanded that they heat the furnace 7 times more than it was usually heated. Mainit na yun kasi burning, fiery furnace. Pero this time, sabi niya, painitin nga yan 7 times. Kung naglagay ka ng isang kahoy, 7 kahoy. Actually, mahirap i-imagine yan unless nandoon ka. And I would not recommend na i-try nyo sa mga kalan-kalan ninyo. Nasa 1, tapos ilagay nyo sa 7, tapos i-try nyo yung kamay nyo. Yung 1 na mainit, lagay nyo yung kamay nyo. Tapos, gawin nyo yung 7 times, and then lagay nyo ulit yung kamay nyo. Yan. Don't do that. Pero ganyan ang setting dito. Mainit na siya. Nararamdaman na ng mga tao yan. But this time, sa galit niya, sabi niya, heat the furnace 7 times more than it was usually heated. Verse 20, and he commanded certain mighty men of valor, o yung mga matitipuno at mga malalakas, who were in his army, mga elite ito, to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Hindi na, wala nang music. Tinapon na sila. Then, these men were bound in their coats, their trousers, their turbans, and their other garments. Yan sila ngayon. Yung turban yung nilalagay sa ulo. Yeah. And their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's command was urgent, and the furnace exceedingly hot, talagang mainit na yan, the flame of the fire killed those men who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Can you imagine that? Elite soldier ka, tapos tinapon mo yung tatlo doon, ikaw mismo namatay. Wow. Pati yung mga sundalo na damay pa dahil sa nagagawa ng tatlo. Sila namatay agad. Fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. So hindi lang ito yung parang fireplace na nandoon sa tabi. Nahuhulog sila kapag tinapon ka doon. Malaki rin ito. Ibig sabihin malaki din. Kasi imagine mo kung 3 tao itatapon mo doon sa loob. Pag tumayo si Van dito sa tabi ko, tapos si Edsel dito sa tabi ko. Ganyan. Malaki yun ha. Malaking siya. Malaking furnace. Tsaka lalagyan mo pa ng mga panggatong sa may apoy. Paano kaya yun? Kayo na lang mag-imagine yan. Pag hindi nyo ma-imagine, instructionan nyo si AI, Gemini. Create a burning fiery furnace similar to the furnace spoken of in Daniel chapter 3. Yan. Tapos sasabihin ni Gemini, thinking. Banana to. Meron siyang gano'n eh. Tapos mamaya, ilalabas niya yung image. Kayo na lang yan, ang gumawa niyan. Maybe we can try that mamaya. Anyway, these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound, into the midst of the burning, fiery furnace. Nahulog. So malaki ito. Verse 24, then, King Nebuchadnezzar was astonished, and he rose in haste and spoke, saying to his counselors, hindi ba 3 yung tinapon natin na nakatali into the midst of the fire? They answered and said to the king, true, O king. 25, look, he answered, I see 4 men. 3 yung tinapon, pero ang nakikita nila, 4, loose, walking in the midst of the fire. Okay. 4 na. Imagine mo, 4 na ngayon naglalakad doon sa gitna ng burning fiery furnace. Yung nagsubo doon sa 3, patay. Pero sila naglalakad. At yung tali, wala na. Walking in the midst of the fire. Pag binasa ninyo yung doon sa Hebrews 11, sila yung para mga firewalkers yun. na dinidescribe. They are not hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the Son of God. Meaning, kung merong kinang, kumikinang yung pang-apat. Yan. At ang description lang na sinabi ni King Nebuchadnezzar, he looks like parang anak ng Diyos. Yan. Verse 26, Then Nebuchadnezzar went near the mouth of the burning fiery furnace. Pero yung description na yan, remember, hindi siya talagang malapit doon. Kasi yung elite soldier niya na nagtapon, nasunog eh. Merong certain distance yan na pwede niyang kausapin, pero mainit-init, pero hindi siya nasusunog. And spoke, saying, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out and come here. Well, nahulog sila, pero somehow, pwede naman silang umakyat. And nakalabas. Then, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came from the midst of the fire. Ang galing. Ito ang dapat ginagawa ng movie. No? Ang ganda siguro panoorin ito. Kahit yung scene lang na yan. And the satraps, administrators, governors, and the king's counselors gathered together. And they saw these men on whose bodies the fire had no power. Yan. The hair of their head was not singed. Can you imagine? 7 times hotter. Pero yung mga buhok nila ang sabi, wala man lang sunog. Ako nga, wala pang sunog, nawawala na. pero look at how it is described. 7 times hotter. Pero sabi ni King Nebuchadnezzar, hindi man lang nag-amoy sunog yung buhok, nor were their garments affected, and the smell of fire was not on them. Parang wala lang. Parang hindi sila nanggaling doon sa apoy. Can you imagine that? Kung meron kayong fireplace, try nyo yan. Hindi, wag. Not unless. Yan. Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Na-impress yung king. And I think this is real. Yung impression niya is real. Kasi siya na ang nag-describe the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Kanina, sabi niya, who do you think is a God that can save you? Who sent his angel and delivered his servants who trusted in him. Sabi niya, mukhang son of God, but this time, sabi niya, it looks like a spirit being an angel. And they have frustrated the king's word and yielded their bodies, that they should not serve nor worship any God except their own God. They're willing to die. Yan ang ibig sabihin niya. They are not afraid of the king's command, the king's word. And ibinigay nila yung katawan nila, that they should not serve nor worship any God except their own God. Of course, alam natin yan kasi yung first 2 commandments, that is the very essence. You shall not have any other God before me, and do not bow down or create any graven image. Yan. 29. Then, sabi niya, therefore I make a decree. Ito na yan. Meron akong bagong decree. Kanina, ang decree ko ganito. Ngayon, gawa ulit tayo. Any people, nation, or language which speaks anything amiss or against or in contradiction to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces. Their houses shall be made an ash heap, because there is no other God who can deliver like this. Yung respeto ng king sa God ni Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, taas. Kapag meron akong narinig na nagsalita laban sa Diyos nitong tatlong ito, chop-chopin ko yan. Sabi niya, chop-chop yan. Tapos yung bahay niya, sunugin yan. Their houses shall be made an ash heap. Then, verse 30, the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. May promotion pa. In the province of Babylon. Nadagdagan pa yung ano nila, star. Dito. Yan ang kwento. O, diba? Mabilis lang. 3:45. Tapos na tayo. Faith in and towards God must be constant. Ito yung mga lessons na mapipick up natin doon sa binasa natin. Unchanging and consistent. Yan yung tatlo. Yung faith nila is constant, hindi nagbabago, and consistent. Faith requires absolute obedience. Ito yung makikita natin doon sa example ng tatlo. Ang obedience nila to God is absolute. Sabi ng tatlo, whether we know that God can save us, but even if God does not save us, we will still not bow down. You see, regardless of the outcome, kung ano man ang mangyari today, sabi ng tatlo, we will not change. We will still worship God. Faith requires absolute obedience, trust, and loyalty. Kahit ano pang sitwasyon or condition, whether it is pleasant or whether it is unpleasant. Katulad din ang sinasabi ni Edsel kanina. That is how people look at us. And regardless of anumang sitwasyon ng kalalagyan natin, because nagbago tayo ng faith, or that now we are Christians, it does not matter. All that we need to remember is that pumasok tayo in a covenant with God. And that is the covenant that matters. Regardless of the consequence sa atin. Whatever situation or condition we find ourselves in, or that we are placed into as part of our test or trial by God. Kasi may pagdadaanan naman talaga tayo mga pagsubok. The very fact alone that you are different will put you in a bad situation. Because you are different. Because you are not like any other people. Faith must be consistent whether we find favor or whether we do not get the response that we hope for. Yan yung sinabi ng tatlo. Whether God saves us or not, be it known to you, O King. Sabi nila, we are not going to bow down. But it works in all the other commandments. Whether it is bearing false witness, whether it is respect of parents, whether it is adultery or murder or theft. Hindi ka dapat nagbabago as an individual. Kapag merong, anong tawag dito? Kapag merong nakalagay dyan sa kalye na 2 maleta ng tigpa 5 million bawat isa. Okay. Wala namang pangalan. Alam mo hindi sa'yo. The rule about stealing is, alam mo hindi sa'yo. It does not matter kahit kanino siya, kahit wala siyang pangalan. It does not matter whether 500 pesos siya o 1,000 na nandun sa kalsada. Kung wala namang babalik din yan. Unahan na lang yan. Ano tawag dito, may kwento yan eh, na nabasa ko sa Facebook. Meron siyang napulot na 2,000. Eh, siyempre, hindi mo naman alam kung kanino yan. Napulot mo, 2,000. Tapos maya-maya, pagpasok mo sa mall, meron ka nakitang 3 girls na umiiyak. Kasi nawala yung kanilang 2,000. Eh mukhang nakakaawa naman kasi nawalan sila ng 2,000. Ikaw naman may napulot na 2,000. So bigyan mo sila ng 500. At least may pamasahe man na sila pa uwi. Anyway, nalamang sa kanila yun. Katulad ng na-present sa Statement of Beliefs natin, Nagbabasa ba kayo ng Statement of Beliefs? I think you should. Pag napunta kayo sa CDI site, basahin niyo yung Statement of Beliefs natin. Nakasulat doon, faith requires or involves courage, action, and risk. Yan yung 3 components ng faith. You need to be brave. At yung bravery na yan, translates into action. At yung action na iyan, even if there is a risk, you have to take it. Yung exercise of faith necessitates courage, action, and risk. But I think most of you already understand that. Kasi the moment you take on or enter into a covenant with God, that by itself requires courage, action, and risk. The moment na ikaw nagpalit ng paniniwala, kailangan matapang ka eh. Alam mo, maraming hindi matutuwa sa gagawin mo. Kapatid, tatay, nanay, lahat yan hindi matutuwa kapag ikaw ay nagpalit ng paniniwala. Kapag yung nanay mo, for example, nagluto ng paborito mong adobong baboy. O tapos nilagay niya sa mesa. Tapos hindi ka kumain. Anong ginagawa mo dyan? Bakit hindi ka kumakain? Paborito mo to ah. Yung sinasabi. Edsel kanina. Paborito mo to ah. Bakit hindi mo ginagawa? Mahal-mahal pa naman ang karning baboy ngayon. Tapos hindi ka kakain? Gusto mo ba subukan ba kita? Yan sasabihin ng nanay mo eh. Anong religion yan? Bakit hindi pwede kumain ng baboy? Oh, see, ganyan yan eh. But, when you come into a covenant with God, immediately you know there are things that you can and you cannot do. You have to be different. Kailangan ipaglaban mo yan. That is why even si Jesus sabi, your enemies, your very first enemies will be those of your own household. Swerte ka na lang kung buong pamilya tinawag. O di okay ka lang. Eh kung hindi tinawag, and for most of us, ganyan naman. Hindi tinatawag yung buong pamilya. Can you imagine kung mag-asawa, ikaw yung lalaki, yung misis mo ang babae. Well, talagang misis ang babae. Okay. Mahirap naman pagkapalit. Okay. Hindi, ang ibig ko sabihin, ikaw yung taga-kain, yung misis mo ang taga-luto. At ang niluto ng misis mo ay hindi mo pwedeng kainin. O yan, away yan. Problema yan. Ayaw mo kumain? Sige, magluto ka. Ikaw magluto ng sarili mong pagkain. Well, for most of you, it's not a problem. Pag ako, problema yan kasi ako marunong magluto. Si Hananiah, si Mishael, at saka si Azariah, they exemplified those 3 characteristics: courage, action, and risk when they presented themselves before the king. Can you imagine? Nasa harap ka ng king, tapos nakikita mo yung pornohan doon, At you can actually feel. Kasi nararamdaman naman nila yan eh. Habang papalapit ka doon, 7 times hotter, mararamdaman mo yung init na yan. Tapos yung naghatid sa iyo namatay. At malalaking tao ito ha. These are elite soldiers. Yan. Mga masil-masilan. Wala akong masil. Pero ito, mga masil-masilan ito, malalaking tao ito. Elite soldiers. At the very least, 3 yan. 1 for each. Patay lahat. Bago pa makarating doon. Ang nangyari niyan, tinulak na lang nila, sila nasunog. Yung 3 nahulog doon. But even that, they exemplified courage, action, and risk in their faith toward God and in their obedience toward His commandment to not bow down before any idol or worship any image in place of God. Yan. Ang tapang nila. No? Mga teenagers ito ah. Kasi when they were taken, they were teenagers. Eh. Katulad nila Daniel yan eh. They were 15 upwards when they were taken captive. Mga bata pa ito. Pero yung faith nila, unbelievable. We have one chance at receiving eternal life. This is actually scary kasi pag tinignan mo sa scripture, when you enter into a covenant with God today, your chance for salvation is today. The indication of scripture, of course, we do not tend to judge people when they turn away or when they apostatize, kapag nagpalit ng paniniwala. Hindi naman natin pwedeng husgahan kung anong tumatakbo sa isip nila at the moment of their death. We do not know that. So hindi naman pwedeng sabihin, ay tumalikod na yan sa faith. Ano kayang kahihinatnan niya? Hindi ka naman pwedeng magsabing, ay sigurado, doon yan sa furnace na 7 times hot. We cannot really say that. But kapag binasa mo yung mga parables, it always tell us na pag dumating si Jesus Christ and you are in a situation that is not to His favor, you're going to be thrown into the fire. Which seems to tell us, your chance is today. Our chance is today. We do not get to have a second chance. Kaya we have one chance at receiving eternal life. And faith is an important element of that chance. Importante siya. Sabi nga sa atin sa Hebrews, without faith, it is impossible to please God. If you do not believe in God, if you do not believe in me, according to the writer ng Hebrews, which we believe to be true, if you do not believe in God, if you do not have faith, it is impossible na matuwa siya sa iyo. Meaning, please. Without faith, it is impossible to please Him. For he who comes to God must believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. Kaya ang condition eh. Kailangan believe ka. Anay, itong 3 na ito, they really show that in the presence of certain death. Sabi ko sa mga taga Mindanao, one of the things that I fear the most, tuwing pumunta ako sa kanila, sa taga Maranding, one of the things I fear the most, kinatatakutan ko, is kapag nakasakay ako ng bus at mayroong umakyat na Muslim doon, may hawak mo. Sino Kristiyano dyan? Believe me, tatalon talaga ako sa bitana kahit tumatakbo yung bus. Pagkatabi mo at hindi ka makatalon, kasi may mga bus na hindi ka naman pwedeng tumalon. Nakaano naman? Nakasara. Parang yung mga isarubas. Hindi ka naman pwedeng tumalo. Kapag may umakyat dyan at may nagsabing, sinong Kristiyano dyan? Ano tawag dito? It's an impossible situation. At merong umakyat na ganyan sa mga bus ng sa mga taga Mindanao, from time to time. Nakasakay na nga kami ni Mang Eli, kasama kami, punta kami sa Tabato. Yung driver namin, pagdating doon sa tapat ng bahay nila, bumaba. Pagbalik, may hawak ng... Kasi may mga sumasakay daw sa van na nang-hold up. Oh. Tapos tumingin pa sa akin, ikaw, Kristiyano ka ba? Oh. Ano sasabihin ko? Hindi! Muslim ako! Patay na. Believe me, I might. Wala pa nga akong misis, mamamatay na ako. The fear of death. Kapag nagmumotor ako, that's also one of my fear. Yung bang, ako, I trust in my ability to drive. But I have no trust in everyone around me. Wala akong tiwala sa mga katabi ko. Ako, kapag ako lang nasa kalsada, walang nangyayari sa akin eh. Pero kapag ang katabi ko sa kalsada, yung mga katulad ng mga sumisingit-singit, oo, kaya nakakatakot eh. Kaya kung minsan pagbasag-basag niya yung Shopee at Lazada ninyo, ganyan yan. Dumating sa inyo. Anyway, ba't tayo napunta doon? Faith. See, we have one chance at receiving eternal life. At itong tatlo na ito, in the face of certain death. Kasi mamamatay ka talaga eh. Nakita na nila yan eh. Itatapon ka doon eh. Sunog ka talaga doon eh. Kasi ang dali namang, Lord, sorry. Pagbigyan ko na ito. Mas mabuti naman sigurong buhay ako, sumasamba sa iyo, kaysa patay naman ako, wala nang kakanta sa iyo. Ang daling mag-isip ng dahilan para hindi sumunod sa Diyos. Because of fear. And believe me, you can create 1,000 reasons to bow down before an idol, or to bow down before your boss, to bow down before your teacher, to bow down before your husband, to bow down before your wife. Ang dali yan. To bow down before the wife. Kapag nagalit na sa yung misis mo, lagot ka na. Pag-bow ka na lang yan, yes na kaagad yan. Kahit ano pang sabihin niya. But we are told that without faith, it is impossible to please Him. In other words, God is saying, you either please me, or you please other people. Mamili ka na lang dyan. The story of Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, well, also known by their Babylonian names, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Itong tatlo, they carry the name of God. Hananiah. Yung yan na yan yun. That's God. Yeah. Mishael. Yan ang pronunciation din eh. Kasi tayo nasanay tayo na kapag nakita mo yung Michael, pinopronounce mo siya na Michael. Yung angel, for example. Pero hindi yan Michael. Mikael, yes. Mikael. Because you have to pronounce the name of God. Mikael. Yan yan. Gabriel. Tayo Gabriel. Yan, Gabriel. Pero hindi yan. Sa Hebrew, it's Gabriel. And si Azariah. Yan. Yeah. Ano tawag dito? Kaya yung yeah. Oh, that's one of the names of God. In the future, some of you will Kasi bibigyan naman tayo ng mga bagong pangalan. Some of you will either carry the name L or the name Yah in your name. Kapag binigyan na kayo ng bagong pangalan. Tama ba? Rini L or Rini Yah. Rini Yah. Rini Yah! Hindi natin alam, bago naman pangalan niya, wala naman. Ano tawag dito? Iba-iba na yan, but in the future, you will carry the name of God. You will either carry the name L or you will carry the name Yah in the future. In Daniel 3, provides for us profound lessons on faith, courage, and obedience to God, even in the face of death. Swerte tayo ngayon bilang mga Kristiyano, alam mo kung bakit? Wala nagkikialam ng religion mo. You do not, kapag sumigaw ka doon sa palengke and you proclaim that Jesus is King, no one will go after you. Pero nung araw, if you do that, the Roman soldiers will go after you kasi treason siya eh. It's death penalty. Kapag sinabi mong Jesus is King. Hindi mo pwedeng gawin sa palengke yan. That is how sila Paul got themselves in trouble. Because they are preaching for the son of Joseph and Mary to be king. Hindi mo siya pwedeng gawin. Ngayon, kahit anong gawin mong sigaw niya, wala papansin sa iyo. Oh, palengke. Their example highlights what is called even if not faith. Yan ang tawag ng ng mga religious people doon sa tatlo. They are the even if not. The trust God regardless of the outcome. Kasi sabi nila kahit ano man, God can save us, but even if He does not save us, we will still not bow down before your idol. O, ano mga key lessons natin na matututuhan from their example? Mabilis na lang ito, basahin lang natin. They have what is called courageous non-conformity. They do not conform. They bravely do not conform. These three young men refused to bow to Nebuchadnezzar's golden idol, showing that believers must refuse to conform to the world's demands when they conflict with God's commands. Ganyan din tayo dapat. We do not care what other people think. We only care what God thinks. And that takes courage. O ito yan. This is how they became popular. Even if not faith. Yan ang kanilang highlight. Their most profound statement, but even if He, God, does not deliver us, we want you to know, Your Majesty, we will not serve your gods. Pag estudyante ka, for example, sabihin mo, Ma'am, I don't care kung bibigyan mo ako ng mababang grade. Hindi ako luluhod dyan. Or hindi ako sasama sa Christmas celebration ninyo. Or hindi ako magba-Valentine's. Or hindi ako mag-Halloween. I don't care. Kung bibigyan mo ako ng failing grade because of that. Yan. Honey, I'm sorry. Alam ko masarap kang magluto, pero merong hipon eh. Ang ganyan yan. Sorry, honey. This teaches that true faith does not hinge or depend on receiving a favorable outcome. Kapag believe ka sa Diyos, hindi sa lahat ng panahon, naghihintay ka ng magandang resulta. Alam naman natin yan. Kasi marami namang mga Kristiyano, in fact, even among the prophets, may namatay sa sakit. Pero sila mismo nakakapagpagaling. Of course, by the power of God. Pero sila, namatay na may sakit. At marami din sa kanilang hindi pinagbibigyan when they pray. Si Paul, for example, sabi niya, meron akong nararamdaman sa katawan. A thorn in the flesh. ang description niya. Well, I think kapag nakipag-wrestling ka sa lion, at bumaon yung kanyang claws doon sa tagiliran mo habang magkayakap kayo. And si Paul, ang sabi niya, I wrestled with lions twice. Dalawang arena ang pinuntahan ni Paul. Facing off with lions. Galing ni Paul, no? He's not an easy man to kill, kahit na ang kalabayan niya ay lion. Siguro pag ako umarap sa lion, tumilapon na agad yung ulo ko. But si Paul is a fighter. He's not just your ordinary religious leader. He can fight. Si Paul can really fight in the arena against lions. These are people, well sila, at tayo din dapat, are willing to die for our obedience. Well, for most of us today, we do not go that far. Our lives will be difficult. And some people will make our lives difficult. Pero dapat nakahanda tayo dyan. Another lesson is that the presence of God we will feel in the most difficult trials. God did not prevent them from being thrown into the furnace. God could have saved them before getting them thrown into the furnace. Pero hindi. Pinabayaan silang matapon doon. But He was with them in the fire. Okay. Sama-sama tayo dyan. Mainit ba? Sama ako. 7 times. This is a very interesting situation. Kasi pinabayaan sila matapon doon eh. Pero sinamahan sila in the middle. The fourth person in the fire, well, often interpreted as the pre-incarnate Christ or an angel, yan ang kadalasang interpretation yan, shows that God shields, comforts, and sustains believers during, not always from suffering. Samahan niya tayo. May utang ka? Well, hindi naman utang yan. I don't think kasama yan. You're under fire? O, sama tayo dyan. Yung footprints in the sun. Ano yung footprints in the sun? Yung message niya na nagre-reklamo siya. Bakit in the time of his deepest trouble, isang footprint na lang ang nakikita niya? Ako na lang ba ang naglalakad? Hindi ikaw, binitbit ka. Yan. Kaya isang footprint na lang ang nakita mo. Kasi ako na yung nagbibitbit sa'yo. And this is kind of like yung nangyari doon sa tatlo. Tinapon sila doon sa loob. God could have prevented it. Kasi namatay na yung nagtapon eh. They could have stopped from there. Hindi naman din sila nasusunod. But they were allowed to go into the fire. Which means for us, God does not always stop us from entering into trials. We will go into the trials, but God is with us. Kasama tayo. Kasama niya tayo. Another lesson is they prioritize obedience over personal safety. And this is one of those things na ang isang Kristiyano dapat tinitingnan niya. Hindi yung personal na kaligtasan, you prioritize obedience. But I think most of you understand that. Kasi merong statement na nagsasabing, seek you first the kingdom of God. And all these things, idadagdag na lang yan sa'yo. They prioritize their loyalty to God over their own safety and careers, demonstrating that faithfulness is more important than personal comfort or survival. That is why merong statement sa Hebrews, it is impossible to please God without faith. Dapat, inuuna natin yung obedience over our personal safety. But we will not judge you. Kapag merong umakyat sa bus at nagsabi, sino Kristiyano dyan? At ang immediate na pumasok sa isip mo, hindi ako Kristiyano. Lalo pagkatabi mo ba? Sino Kristiyano dyan? Tapos ikaw na, ikaw! Tapos nakatutok sa'yo, ikaw, Kristiyano ka? Magpa-convert ako. Ganun pa naman ang primary principle ng Islam noong araw. Join Islam or die. Convert or die. Oh, can you imagine pag ganyan ang umakyat sa bus? And believe me, it is, ano tawag dito? A very bad way to die. Yung bang namatay ka ng ganun lang. Can you imagine naman? Yeah. Whenever I ride a motorcycle or drive a long drive, I always pray for safety. Kasi it's a terrible way to die. Papunta ka ng Naga o papunta ka ng ibang place, tapos namatay ka lang dahil sa aksidente. It's a horrible way to die. Buti sana kung may hold-upan sa bangko. Tapos nandun ako sa harap ng cashier. Tapos meron silang sumigaw na, hold up to! Tapos nagpaputok siya ng baril, bang! Tapos humarang ako dun sa bangko. Para hindi mamatay yung cashier. Of course, nang mag-asawa na siya, babayaan na siya. At least you die a heroic death. Pero can you imagine kung nagmumotorcycle ka lang, tapos merong nakatulog na driver, tapos nasagi ka, tapos namatay ka. Well, it's a horrible way to die. See, I don't want to die that way. or yung, anyway, saan tayo? Obedience over personal safety. Another one. Preparation in small trials. Meaning, yung mga maliliit na trials na pinagdadaanan natin, na nalalagpasan natin, they become a reason for us to have an increasing faith in God. Yung firm stand na yan, itong tatlo, was not a sudden decision. Hindi naman yan na pagdating doon sa sitwasyon na yan, bigla silang naging super faithful. Hindi naman. It was built upon a history of faithfulness. Such as, kasi sa umpisa pa lang, kapag binasa ninyo, ilang beses na silang nalagay into a bad situation. Nung una, nung pinatawag sila, yung diet nila, supposed to be, is the same diet as everyone else. But that diet is unclean. Kaya si Daniel, kinausap yung captain of the guard na nakaalaga sa kanila at ang sabi, pwede ba maging vegetarian na lang kami? Sabi naman nung guard, hindi pwede yan. Kapag ka humarap ako sa hari, tapos malulusog lahat yung iba, tapos kayo, lukot ang mga mukha. Ako ang mananagot, sabi ng captain of the guard. Sabi ni Daniel, hindi, gusto ko, testingin natin. Testingin natin, maging vegetarian lang kami. Kasi it's the safer way. Kaysa mamimili ka pa, pwedeng karne, pwedeng baka, pwedeng kambing. To simplify it, sabi ni Daniel, hindi, gulay na lang lahat ang isilbi mo sa amin. Yan, 4 kami. Ito. Tsaka ako. Tapos, compare. Tapos nung humarap nga sila, after the trial period, kagaganda ng kutis ng... nung 4. Kumpara sa iba. Subukan niya, mag-vegetarian kayo. At ang sabi diyan, magiging mas magaganda ang kutis ninyo. Of course, during the days of the Corinthians, naging problema naman nila yun. Kasi merong nag-aaway na yung mga church members ng vegetarian at saka meat eating. Anyway, yan. And the other one that their lives will put in danger is nung nagkaroon ng panaginip si King Nebuchadnezzar. At kapag hindi nabigyan ng tamang interpretasyon, yung panaginip, everybody dies. Sila din pinatawag din sila ni Daniel. I pray, you pray. So that God will show us yung dream. Yung dream. Ang ganda nga ng kwento ng dream na yan. Basahin nyo na lang later. Or we can discuss that at another time. They refuse to defile themselves with the king's food. Obeying in small matters prepares a person for and makes them capable of obeying in big trials. God has helped us in the small matters. Meron na silang experience niyan. And so they are confident that God will also be with them even in the big things na katulad nung nangyari doon sa binasa natin, Daniel chapter 3. Another lesson is that we find that God is sovereign over human authority. In this case, the human authority is Nebuchadnezzar. God rules them all. Recognition of God's supremacy and sovereignty. While they respected the king, kasi respectful naman sila eh. Ang sabi nila, King, we will not be careful in this matter. While they respected the king, they recognized that ultimate authority belongs to God alone. Yan ang pinakita nila doon. God is supreme. God is above all. They did not fear the king's power because they trusted in God's power. And they are a faithful witness. Well, kayo din, whenever you do not conform to this word, you are performing a witness that you have a covenant greater than every other covenant, that you have an allegiance higher than any other human allegiance. Their quiet, resolute, and respectful defiance. Hindi naman sila sumigaw o nakipag-argue sa king. Witness to the power of God, leading even the pagan king Nebuchadnezzar to acknowledge the superiority of their God. Kasi in the end, impressed naman talaga si King Nebuchadnezzar. To the point na gumawa pa siya ng decree. Ayaw kong may marinig na nagsasalita laban sa God. Itong tatlo ito. Sabi niya. Otherwise, chap-chapin ko kayo. Sabi ni King Nebuchadnezzar. Ipapachap-chap ko kayo to anyone who shows disrespect. Because they are also respected. And of course, finally, they were delivered and they were promoted for their faith. Ultimately, God rewarded their faith. See, God is a rewarder of the faithful. They were not only saved, but they were also promoted in the province of Babylon, demonstrating that God honors those who honor Him. Sabi nila yan, parang tatay yan na natutuwa sa anak. These three men teach that it is possible for us to live a life of uncompromising faith. Yung example nila, even though we are living in a Babylonian culture that is hostile to God. Hindi, tayo. As ini-explain nga ni Edsel kanina, we live in a hostile environment. Hindi naman lahat natutuwa sa faith natin. Kung minsan, hindi naman nila pinaparinig sa inyo, pero hindi sila natutuwa sa atin. Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, they are uncompromising. And I think that we should be too. We develop that kind of faith and trust in God that we do not compromise. But compromise on what? Or compromise on which? We can only compromise if we understand what we are compromise. Hindi gumagawa tayo ng mga dahilan. Lord, si Mrs. yan eh. Nakapalayasin ako sa bahay. Or Lord, mawawalan akong trabaho. Paano na ito? Paano na yan? Or Lord, magagalit sa akin ang teacher ko. Ibabagsak daw ako. Tapos babalik ako next year. Tapos siya na naman ang teacher ko. Hindi na ako makakaalis dito. Dahil palagi niya akong ibabagsak. Tuwing magkikita kami, makita pa lang niya ang mukha ko, bagsak niya agad. Ikaw na naman, 4 na taon ka na rito ah. Isang subject lang ang binabalikan mo, siya lang. These three, that's Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, alam nila kung anong pinapaniwalaan nila. And they know what they stand for. Idolatry or any form of worship related to idolatry isn't something they are willing to compromise with. Alam na nila yan, the moment na tumayo sila doon. Kasi pinatawag sila for that very purpose. May command naman eh, to bow down before the idol. Yan ang objective eh. Pumunta kayo dito. Dahil, bakit? Kasi magbabow down kayo before the idol. Si Daniel, wise siya. Nawawala siya. Hindi mo siya makita somewhere. Of course, iba naman ang ginamit sa kanya later on. Kung binasa ninyo yung buong book ni Daniel, yung naman kanyang ugali na magdasal. Palagi ang ginamit against him. If you want to go against a man of God, you go against his belief. Yan ang thinking ng kalaban nyo. At si Satan ganyan. Remember yung parable na dinaanan natin? When you receive the message, anong ginagawa ni Satan? Inaabangan niya. Pag hindi ka maingat, tatangayin niya. Yung na-receive mo. Idolatry isn't something they are willing to compromise with. They value their relationship with God above everything else, including their own lives. But Jesus also said that if you are not willing to sacrifice your life before me, you cannot be my disciples. And most of you people understand that. Kasi, kapag pumasok kayo into a relationship, yun din naman ang sinasabi nyo eh. Mahal mo ba ako? Wala bang iba? Kasi kapag merong iba, ayaw ko na sa'yo. Gusto ko, ako lang. But God is the same. When you love Him, siya lang. In fact, we go into that time. You go into that covenant. Do you promise to love her and her alone? Hindi na sa akin yan. Walang side beat. But God is also the same. If you love me, ako lang. No one above. Pwede merong below. Pero, everyone else. God is number 1, the wife is number 2. Ganyan yan. They value their relationship with God above everything else, including their own lives. If we are to follow their example, we need to follow some clear principles. Number 1, we need to have a clear view and perspective of what it is that we believe in. Ano ba ang pinaniniwalaan ko? O yan, bibigyan niyo yung statement of beliefs. Pangalawa, we need to have a clear view and perspective of the law of God. Yung 10 Commandments. Dapat alam niyo yan. Pag-aralan niyo yan. Study. Kasi, simple lang naman yan. 10 lang naman yan. And they're not very difficult. Pangatlo, God operates on a principle of the little things are the big things. Ano yan? Sabi ni Jesus, If you cannot be trusted on the small things, you cannot be trusted on the bigger things. Kung hindi kita mapagkatiwalaan sa maliit, lalo na kita hindi mapagkatiwalaan sa maliit. Totoo yan. If you compromise on the small things, you will compromise on the bigger things. Sa Luke chapter 16, verse 10, he who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much. Yan ang statement ni Jesus. Kapag faithful ka sa maliliit na bagay, magiging faithful ka din pagdating sa malalaki. And he who is unjust in what is least is unjust also in much. We live by the commandments and we live by our beliefs. Si Hananiah, si Mishael, and si Azariah weren't just knowledgeable of the laws of God. They lived by their beliefs. They were willing to make sacrifices, small and great, if they needed to. If they were called upon to do so, what's available to them is also available to us. And what was expected of them then is also expected of us today. If they can do it, kaya din natin yan. Hopefully not in the same situation as they are. After all, compared to theirs, yung mga buhay natin ngayon, mas madali. We do not have a president that threatens us with death based on our belief. Let us live by the laws, by our beliefs, and by our faith. With that, have a good day.